Family, today we're going to be talking about one of the most powerful stories in the Bible, but this one is regarding faith and courage, and it's Daniel and the lion's den. This is not just an old story, it's a living reminder that no matter who plots against you, and no matter how dark the pit, when God is with you, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So let's get into the story. Daniel was a man of excellence, even though he lived in Babylon, a place far from his home, but he kept his faith in God. Because of Daniel's wisdom and integrity, the king planned to make him ruler over the entire kingdom. But not everyone celebrated Daniel's success. Jealousy began to rise amongst the officials. They looked for a way to bring Daniel down. They could find no fault in him. So they said, "We'll never find any basis for charges against Daniel unless it has something to do with God." So they began to create false stories, whisper campaigns, and traps. But God still has the final say. So the jealous officials convinced King Darius to make a law. And the law was that for 30 days, no one could pray to any god or human except King Darius himself. Anyone who disobeyed will be caught and thrown in the lion's den. They knew that Daniel prayed 3 times a day to the living God. And sure enough, Daniel didn't stop. He continued to pray 3 times a day. Daniel went home, opened his windows toward Jerusalem, and began to pray, just like he always did. Daniel didn't let fear silence his faith. He didn't compromise to please people. He understood something powerful, that when you pray to God, he will stand with you, even in the lion's den. And when they caught him praying, they ran straight to the king. The king was devastated because he loved Daniel, but the law couldn't be changed. So Daniel was arrested and thrown into the lion's den. Whew. Can you imagine the darkness in that den? Can you imagine the sounds of the lions growling at him? It was the smell of danger all around him. Most people would have been paralyzed by fear, I'm sure. But Daniel had peace because he knew that God was with him. The king could not sleep that night. He was so worried about Daniel in the lion's den. The king fasted and refused entertainment. His heart was heavy, worrying about Daniel. At sunrise, the king ran to the lion's den to check on Daniel. He cried out, "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God whom you serve continually been able to rescue you from the lion's den?" And then the impossible happened. Daniel's voice echoed from the darkness. "My God sent his angels to shut the lion's mouth. They have not hurt me because I was found innocent in their sight." When you walk with God, he can shut the mouth of every lion in your life. The lions of financial frustrations, the lions of not having a job, the lions of homelessness. King Darius was overjoyed. He ordered that Daniel be lifted out of the lion's den, and not a single scratch was found on Daniel. But those who plotted against Daniel, they were thrown into that same den and instantly destroyed. God turned the trap that they set for Daniel into their very own downfall. And that's why you don't have to fight dirty or defend yourself when you're plotted against. Let God handle it. He will always prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. Daniel came out of that lion den more stronger, more respected, and more victorious than ever. And the king issued a new decree that everyone in the land must honor Daniel. I love this story. Yes. This story isn't just about lions. It's about life. There will be times in life when you're thrown in situations that were meant to break you. But that's when your faith is tested and proven. Daniel's stories reminds us we may be surrounded by enemies, but we're also surrounded by God's angels. When you stay faithful, God will silence every lion and lift you up in due time. So today, no matter what you're facing, stand firm in faith. Don't let your fears stop you from praying. Don't let the pressures make you compromise. Because the same God that saved Daniel will save you as well. You might be in the lion's den right now, but morning is coming. And when it gets here, you will rise out of that lion's den with not a scratch on you. If this message blessed you, remember, like and subscribe, leave a comment. And I'll be back tomorrow with another video.